Well, since it is the 40-year anniversary of Transformers, I want to continue my look back through the eras of the toy line, or of the toys and the shows. Now, logically, the next step would be G2. However, I only have one G2 character, Bone Crusher. Given that he is exactly the same as his G1 counterpart, just yellow, I didn't feel like it was worth making a whole video on him. So then, logically, the next step would be Beast Wars. Unfortunately, I do not have any Beast Wars figures. Same with Car Robots / Robots in Disguise 2001 or Armada. However, I do technically own an original Energon toy. Or 5. This is Energon BRUTICUS MAXIMUS. Except, this is not technically the original figure. This is the 2009 redeco for the movie, Revenge of the Fallen. But, since it is the exact same mold, I figured I'd go ahead and take a look at it. So, we're going to start off this review with... We are starting with the choppers, Swindle and Vortex. Yes, because of the way you are officially supposed to combine Bruticus Maximus, because you're supposed to have one chopper as a leg and one tank as an arm. You know. Yeah, one chopper arm, one chopper leg, one tank arm, one tank leg. You know. So because of that, they, instead of making the other tank Swindle, they made Swindle the chopper. The other chopper that was supposed to be the leg. Which, I get it, but also, just, if one of them is supposed to be an aerial vehicle, keep them an aerial vehicle. Like, that, yeah. Also, sorry if my hands are dirty, I just got done working outside. But yes, so, these two are the exact same figure with a different paint job. That was common with a lot of the combiners in Energon. Was, you know, it consists of 2 repaints and technically 3 original molds. Being, you know, like, the original mold, the repaint, original mold, repaint, and then the torso bot. Yes, I only ripped off the arms for the segment. But, yeah. So, it consists of 3 unique molds and 2 repaints of 2 of the unique molds. But yeah. I don't remember what these guys' names were in Energon itself. One of them, I believe, was named Blackout. But I'm not 100% certain on that. But it didn't really matter, because back in Energon, they were all controlled by Bruticus Maximus's singular intelligence. So, really, they weren't individual bots. Anyway, so let's use Vortex to look at the details. Yeah. There are, seats in here. I don't know if you can tell. Perhaps Vortex wasn't the best to show that off, because I had to, glue his cockpit on. Yeah. You have the Decepticon emblem, V1 for Vortex 1. You have the crystal with an Energon symbol in it. You have the Energon weapons, which become the hands / foot. And yeah. All in all, it's a bit chunky for a helicopter, but I like it. And if you want to see what it looks like without it, it looks a bit better without it. Without this. But yeah. So that's, yeah. And I suppose we should also take a look at Swindle, who, because he, is another aerial vehicle, I'm going to call him Blast Off instead of Swindle. Yeah, basically, in my mind, Swindle and Blast Off just switched colors, I guess. We have the money bag sign representing Swindle, which again, because Blast Off should be an aerial vehicle, I'm going to call it Swindle Blast Off. There's hot glue stuck on this table. But yeah, you know, it's not bad. My dog did end up breaking one of the propellers off, and I did have to glue it back together. But yeah. Yeah, the propellers spin. And the, yeah. They don't do a whole lot because, well, they don't have to. They do what they need to in this mode. Spin. So now on to transformation. I'm only gonna show you one because they're exactly the same. And Vortex is my favorite, so Vortex is just my favorite Combaticon in general. So, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to come here and, you know, disengage this leg, flip the foot up, and rotate it like this. Do the same on this side. You can go ahead and rotate the waist. Go ahead and bring this back section, or that back propeller back. Split the arms, rotate them up, and like that. Up and like that. Now you're going to want to come here, split this section, like that. And you're going to want to break the copter in half and fold this section down. Make sure the head stays. And then go ahead and bring the propellers down. And then there you have Vortex in their robot mode. Now let's go ahead and get Swindle into his robot mode. Before I get Swindle into his bot form, I wanted to quickly show off scale. This is the Studio Series Gamer Edition Cliff Jumper. Yeah. These guys are small, but they're not tiny. They're about old Legends, modern, well, they'd be, back in the day, they'd be considered a Scout class, which was just slightly bigger than, Legends, slightly smaller than Deluxe. Okay, so here are Swindle and Vortex in their robot modes. As you can see, they are identical other than paint job. Because again, they are the exact same mold. So, for robot mode detail, we're going to do Swindle. Because I did Vortex for vehicle mode detail. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, pretty decent face sculpt. It is light piped. I don't know if you can really tell that. But yeah. They're simple, but, you know, I don't mind the simplicity. Articulation. The heads can rotate. Full 360. If you use this transformation joint right here, they can look down. Or you can fold them back up into the cockpit. Whatever you want to do. And yes, the cockpit is closed off, so you can't see the head from that. Shoulders are on a ball joint. They can go full 360. You can go up that far. You do technically have butterfly joints because of the way that the transformation works. So yeah, you can do that. The elbows are on a ball joint. You get 360 rotation, about 90 degrees of bend. Nothing at the wrist, because back then that wasn't that standard. You do technically have waist rotation. Not sure how much use you're going to get out of it, but, you know, it's there. Legs are also on a ball joint. They can go up that far. They can go back that far. Outward. If it weren't for this tail rotor, he could do the full splits. Knees are on a ball joint. Basically, every joint this figure has is a ball joint. You got Knees, you do get more than 90 degrees of bend, which is nice. Did I already mention you have rotation? Probably. The feet can go back like this. No ankle pivot. Again, that wasn't really standard at the time. But yeah. And, so technically these guys came out the same year I was born, 2005. I was able to get a hold of this set, from one of my friends on Twitter. You can find him at moosecruise_official. Yeah, he, was at a local toy shop, and, I made a deal and got him to, buy me this set and ship it out. Of course, I paid for it. Or rather, I paid him back, but still. Now, you can use the Energon weapons in this mode. You can, he's got 5mm ports for the hands and right here in the wing. So technically, you can, you know, plug this giant weapon assembly like this. You can, convert it into its hand configuration and have him, hold it like that. Or, one thing these do is they split apart. So you can, take, you know, this section, plug it in right here, and then take this section, plug it in here. And he's got, you know, Gatling guns on his arms. Now, the only thing you can really do with this, if you do it, is just slide it over the rotor like that. But, yeah. But yeah, you know, they're not bad. They're really not bad. So now let's get them into their limb configurations. I will show you the transformation on both, even though it's practically identical. No, it is identical actually, but still. So other than, you know, where you put the hand-foot guns. See, they were using the hand-foot guns even before Combiner Wars. That was a good era, in my opinion. Anyway. Let me get this. Okay, so. Swindle will get him into his leg mode. So you're going to want to bring his arms up. Rotate his waist. Right? No, you're going to want to keep the waist like this. It's the knees you want to rotate. Rotate the knees like this. You're going to want to bring the cockpit up so you can disengage it from this section. Bring it down. And you're going to want to tab the arms in right here. There you go. And you're going to want to tab these 5mm ports into the bottoms of his feet. You're going to want to rotate it first. Okay, come on. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. But yeah, there you go. Now, warning, this foot isn't exactly stable when you get into combine mode, but still. Now for the arm, you're going to do the exact same thing. Rotate the knees, bring it, or, you know, disengage the cockpit and bring it down. Tab the arms into the legs. The only difference is going to be with the hand-foot gun. You want to take this, rotate it down, decide which hand, well, and, you know, just kind of plug it into his feet. And you can decide which hand he's going to be by rotating this. Or you can just do it like that. And technically you're also supposed to bring the combine mode down. I do that when I plug them on. So, there you have them. We'll do a bit more deeper of a dive into them, or their limb modes, when we get into combine mode. So next, I just realized I forgot to do another comparison. I'm not going to transform him because he's the same size. There. He's the same size. Here he is with Voyager Starscream from the Studio Series Gamer Edition line. Yeah. Anyways, here are the tanks. Blast Off and Brawl. Again, I'm going to call this tank Swindle, even though it's Blast Off. You got the BO right there. And this one is undeniably Brawl. See what they did there? See? M1JP. Flip it upside down, says Brawl. See? That's clever. I'll give him that. That was clever. But yeah, yeah, they're futuristic double-turreted tanks. Technically quadruple if you count these. But yeah, yeah, there's nothing too exciting. As you can see in here, you got the crystal with the Decepticon symbol. For Brawl, you have BO and then a star. For Brawl, you got Brawl. But yeah. If you take off their Energon weapons, which can be a little difficult, they look a bit more realistic, but also a little bit more boring. Articulation in this mode is, as follows. These turrets can, flip around only about this far before this piece gets bumping in the way. And the, main turret section can spin. So, again, not a lot of articulation. They don't do a lot, but they do what they need. You also got 4 rolling wheels, so they do roll. Kinda. For comparison, Gamer Edition Cliffjumper. They are similar. I think they're actually the same length. And, the tanks are a bit taller, but still. And, their Cliffjumper's a bit wider because of his tires. But, yeah. So, that's basically all there is for that. Transformation. Let's use Brawl, because I did the vehicle mode stuff with him. So you're going to want to remove their Energon weapons. Basically kind of stand them up like this. Untab the treads and fold them back, which might trigger the feet to untab. If they do, just kind of bring them down. He has planks for feet. Now you're going to want to rotate this turret up at this joint right here. Like that. That'll bring it up. You are going to want to leave it up so you can bring the arms out, tab them into the top like that, rotate them around, bring the cannons down, stand them up, bring, do whatever you want with the back turret section, or with the back tread section. I believe you're supposed to do this. And then bring this section down like that. Bring this section down and rotate the head. And there you have Brawl. If I remember correctly, the original names for the tanks were Blight and Kickback. But yeah. So, let's get Blast Off into his robot mode. And we'll be right back. And bam. If you want to, keep saying this guy is Blast Off, you can spread the turrets to make it look more like wings. But yeah, there they are. Yeah, they're not bad. You got some good detailing. Not much is new that we didn't already see in tank mode, but yeah. Still, not bad. Yeah. Also, I did lose the Energon stars these guys came with. So, there's that, yeah. They can hold their Energon weapons. Yeah, that looks silly. But, with giant cannons on their arms, I don't think they really need weapons like that. But yeah, they're pretty cool. For comparison, because I'm trying to remember to do that, Starscream. Gamer Starscream. Yeah. To be fair, these guys are kind of more modern deluxe, I guess. But, yeah. Anyway, articulation. The head can rotate, however, you also bring these little cannons with it. If you want to use a transformation hinge, you can make him look down. Elbows and shoulders are on ball joints. You technically have a butterfly joint. For the most part, these guys' articulation's exactly the same, except where these guys' feet's bent in, these guys' can bend up. Other than that, their articulation is the same. I saw some people saying that these guys didn't have waist joints, but no, they have waist joints. And of course, you know, you can rotate their cannons. Woo. But yeah. So let's get these guys into their limb modes. It's basically just going back into the tank mode. Flip this section up. Untab the arms, rotate these around so you can get the cannons facing the right way. Tab their arms together. Tab the legs together, flip the feet up. Bring the treads in. Tab them in, rotate the turret down. You're going to want to take these sections right here and tab them into these two holes right here. And there you've got a foot, or a leg. The leg of Bruticus Maximus. Now, transformation is exactly the same for Blast Off. So we'll just get that done really quick. Again, the only difference is the hand-foot gun. Tab that in. Bring the treads in. Rotate that. Go ahead and bend this section down right here. Bend this section down right here. Tab it in the exact same place as Brawl. And there you go. Now, on to the main event. Onslaught. Or as I believe this guy was named back in Energon, Barricade. And he turns into a nice missile truck. Something I would, you would actually see in real life. So I don't know about how, the distance between the wheel and that, but, still, yeah. For comparison, Cliff Jumper. As you can see, he is longer. Yeah. Onslaught was a deluxe back in the day, while the rest were scout class. So, yeah. So, as you can expect, this guy is a lot better. Articulation in this mode, the missile racks can rotate. If you unpeg it, you can bring it down. They can angle up. Considering this is using his robot mode hip joints, you can really do whatever you want. Yeah, and you can also kind of see his head peeking out right there. But, still. Yeah, the nice transparent red. A nice clear thing with the Decepticon emblem. Sorry about the dust. Yeah. You have Onslaught C5. Thought it was C4. Yeah, Onslaught, Combaticon 5. because he is, you know, the 5th final member. I don't think any of these guys have, you know, have the numbers on them. I know Vortex does, V1, but I don't think the others do. Either way, you know, he is really cool and really good. Those nice painted rims, nice paintwork right here. Minicon ports, because this was after Armada and Minicons were still present in the Energon toy line. You got 5mm peg right here. Same here. This is a apparently even, you know, years after years after this toy came out, I still got it with QC. Because this section right here is supposed to be painted purple like this one. But, oh well. What can you do? Yeah, and you got nice silver detailing up there. Nice, great detailing. So, yeah. And if you move this out of the way, you can see a little bit more great detailing in there. I'll show that off when we get to robot mode. Speaking of which, let's get him into it. So you're going to want to take the missiles, straighten them up, like that. Untab this section and bring it down. Tab it in. Split the legs. Take these sections, bring them up, tab them in. Bring them up, tab them in. You're going to want to come in here and take this heel spur section, pull it out. Then extend the legs and rotate the thigh so the legs are facing the right way. Do the same thing on this side. And as you can see, you can kind of see BRUTICUS Maximus's head in there. But we're going to deal with that because right now you're going to want to take this entire section, untab it, bring it down. You're going to want to bring these sections down. And then bring it up. He has a large section of the vehicle on his back, but still. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to split the arms and bring them down. Rotate them up. Bring the arms and elbows down and rotate them. Orient them properly. And then bring the head down. And bada bing, bada boop, boop, boom. Stand, Onslaught. You have Onslaught in his robot mode. And yeah, he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like Onslaught, but he doesn't look bad. Let's see. You can see his head right here. You know, some nice light piping, just like all of them have. Some nice silver detailing. Or not silver, purple detailing. Some dark olive green, almost gray, I think. And yeah. And yeah, he's not bad. Articulation is pretty basic, but you know, you have head rotation. It can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360. They can go up that far if you leave the arm like this. If you rotate it like this, you can get it up like that. And if you use the transformation joint right here, you can get it all the way up until it hits him in the head. He has bicep rotation. Nice clicky-clacky elbows. They can do they can go 90 degrees. Nothing at the wrists. Again, wasn't standard at the time. Waist rotation, which is nice clicky-clacky. His legs can go up. You can do more than the full splits on a nice soft ratchet. He has thigh rotation, or just above the knee rotation. And he can bend his knee. It's just really tight. It's about 90 degrees of bend. And that's about it. But, you know, he doesn't really need anything else. One thing I do kind of wish he had was better heels. Because this is just way too much weight for these heels. I mean, you can get him in a, kind of a pose where he's, more leaning forward, and that becomes sort of a less of an issue, or maybe not, never mind. But still, yeah, he's not bad. He can stand when he wants to, so that's good. But yeah, now let's get on to the main event, BRUTICUS MAXIMUS. So you're gonna want to go ahead and bring this section out. Go ahead and bring his head up. You're gonna want to bring the arms up on this hinge right here in the body. Rotate them. Bring them down. They will peg in right there. You see that? They will peg in. You're going to want to rotate his waist and collapse his legs in, and then collapse the heel. Collapse the leg in, which reveals the combiner ports. And then you're going to want to, I'm going to show you the stock configuration, then I'll show you how I do it. You're going to want to bring his head up, and then collapse that in. It'll tab into the, where the focus. Arms did in vehicle mode. Then you're going to want to open these flaps. And there you go. There is the torso for BRUTICUS MAXIMUS. So let's get to combining. You just take the limbs and shove them on. Take the limbs and shove them on. They will click on. Take the limb, shove it on. And bring it down. Take the limb, shove it on, bring it down. So, this is the stock configuration for BRUTICUS MAXIMUS. Yeah, you see why they named the tank Blast Off and the leg Swindle? Or in the chopper Swindle? Yeah. I'll show you the other combinations you can do. But yeah, let's take a look at that head sculpt really quickly. That is nice. I really like that head sculpt. And that, otherwise, there's really no new details. Let me find something to shove under my phone so I can, get a little bit better of a look for you guys. Okay, that's a little bit better. At least I can show off the articulation. So, articulation, the arms can rotate a full 360. They can go up that far, go down that far. Stock configuration, you don't have elbows at all. But the hands can open and close because of, turning into the feet, the feet. The hips have the same range as in robot mode, except the minicom port does kind of get in the way, but you can, yeah. So yeah, the hips are the same. And now you can kind of see why the clickety-clackety ratchet joints are needed. He does still have his waist rotation. Knees can bend about 90 degrees. And then that's really about it. He's pretty basic in terms of articulation. But, for 2005, this wasn't that bad. However, his chest does stick out quite far, so I don't know how he's able to look down. But, yeah. So, now, how I combine him is I swap the tank and the chopper. And let me just do that really quick. Before I get too far into turning Blast Off here into a leg, you can technically get an elbow out of the tanks if you have both tanks' arms. You just untab the treads and then rotate the arm. And then, yeah. So, you can technically get an elbow out of the tanks. But, you can't get an elbow out of the choppers because of the way the cockpit is. Anyway, leg. So that's how I combine it. And if you're wondering how I got the legs a little bit closer together, I untab the treads and bring them back. Gets them standing a little bit, more stable. And while that does kind of hinder the up and this chest configuration, hinders the forward and back articulation, I think this looks a lot better. But yeah, so this is how I combine them, just because I prefer the copters being the arms and the tanks being the legs. So guys, that has been my look. Well, wait a second. No, I have something better. So there has been my look at the Transformers Energon / Revenge of the Fallen BRUTICUS MAXIMUS. My journey through the ages will continue later with the Transformers Animated, as I do not possess any of my old figures from the 2007 movie. And I'm counting this set as 2005. I also do not own any Cybertron figures, so. But yes, if you want a hint, my next review will be a non-destroyed version of this guy, Shockwave. I ordered a new one. As you can see, my dog kind of got a hold of him. So I ordered a new one. He will be my next review. And I'll probably repaint this one purple. So, and then after that, I will go on to Revenge of the Fallen. With thrust or hubcap. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, guys. So, it's a day later. I realized I forgot to shoot a segment. I'm filming it on my couch because the table is currently predisposed because we're about to have a family event. I realized I forgot to do robot mode comparisons with Onslaught and BRUTICUS Maximus. So here he is next to Gamer Edition Starscream. And they're actually... Hold on. They're about the same height, actually. I guess that just shows you how modern Voyagers compare to a 2005 deluxe mold. Anyway, let's get this guy into BRUTICUS mode so I can do that because I have limited space on my camera. So there is the comparison with Gamer Edition Starscream and the full combined BRUTICUS Maximus. This guy is about old leader class height. If I had any old leader class figures with me, I'd break one out and show you, but I do not. So yeah, quick segment over, back to your regularly scheduled review. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.
Combaticons roll out!